You could not have been a kid in 70s, 80s and 90s Pakistan and not have read legendary children's mystery fiction author Ishtiaq Ahmed's series on Inspector Jamshed, Inspector Kamran and Shoki brothers. The world will finally get to watch a live-action adaptation of Pakistan's most famous detective series, Inspector Jamshed series, in which a police officer and his brilliant children, Mahmood, Farooq and Farzana, save the day. Even though the Urdu-language paperback series does not have an international equivalent, it balances Pakistani ethos with exotic crime fighting. You can compare it to Enid Blyton's Famous Five adventure series or Secret Seven detective series in which kids solve mysteries. And across 794 best-selling novellas from 1972 to 2015, Ishtiaq Ahmed gave kids and teenagers some pretty memorable villains, including Jeeral, Jeetal, Salatar and See-Moon. In terms of iconic nemesis, they are comparable to Doctor Who's Daleks, the Master, Cybermen and Sontarans. His work was originally published by Sheikh Ghulam Ali and Sons, Lahore, then Maktaba-i-Iqra. In 80s, he switched to Maktaba-i-Ishtiaq Publications. These days, his books can be purchased from Atlantis Publications' online store. You can see the page on your screen. There are other sites selling his books too, but I cannot vouch for the authenticity of the content on those sites. 5 years ago, I shared a YouTube video on my blog at Goodreads site, which announced that a producer had made a demo reel trailer on an Inspector Jamshed web series and was looking for investors or distributors to help him make it. The video, which is now in private mode, had the following description as quoted in a Dawn.com story dated 12th September 2020. Quote, "The show, produced by Adnan Butt, CEO of Republic Media, and directed by Fahad Noor, will focus on building locally relevant and meaningful content to empower parents with improving the moral and ethical values of their young ones, where Inspector Jamshed, along with his kids Mahmood, Farooq and Farzana, solve cases and save the day." Unquote. Republic Media boasts Turk One Official as a brand. Turk One airs medium-budget, sort of B-grade Turkish dramas in Urdu dubbing. Republic Media also rolled out 33 drama series of the biggest Russian broadcaster RTR, VGTRK, in 10+ languages including Urdu and Persian. The company has also worked to enhance Something Hot, which is, in my view, the most professional and organized review platform for Pakistani television content, artists and celebrities. Well, coming back to the progress on Inspector Jamshed adaptation, it may have seemed to have gone all quiet for 5 years, but not really, because Adnan Butt has been posting updates on the series on his Instagram account. On 22nd December 2024, he laid out his vision for the Inspector Jamshed project. Quote, "It's more fun when the stories are from our own land, and this journey has been nothing short of emotional and transformative. Driven by purpose, this project honors Sir Ishtiaq Ahmed's legacy while igniting imaginations across the globe. With a project that brought together top talent from over 16 nationalities, this project marks the beginning of a universe that goes far beyond a single film. We aim to build an ecosystem, merge webtoons, games, animation series, ebooks, audiobooks, and a commitment to bring these 796+ stories to every school in Pakistan through partnerships with public and private entities, and finding our next Ishtiaq Ahmed." Unquote. And in another post, Butt disclosed that the film will be in English for global release, but will also be available in Urdu language in Pakistan. Now this is an ambitious vision, and thank God it is being done. I remember conversing with Ishtiaq Ahmed Saab's son, one of his sons, on Facebook a decade or so ago, on Ishtiaq Ahmed's official Facebook page on why his work had not been translated into English language for larger recognition on international stage, just like other non-English work in foreign countries is made accessible to English-speaking or English-understanding audience. It seemed like nothing had been done on either governmental level or by university presses. So it's great to see that someone from private sector has found the finances to give Ishtiaq Ahmed's work the platform he deserved from the get-go. Webtoons and animated series is all fine, but I think the best news is conversion of his books into ebooks and audiobooks, because that is where the readers of the world are right now, especially in Europe and America. I don't know how updated Adnan Butt's IMDb page is. It shows the first graphic and page for the 2-hour film. A recent report in Dawn dated 25th January 2026 suggests that Ahad Razamir will play the detective. And IMDb page has Umair Rana as number 1 on call sheet. So Dawn obviously got it wrong. As per the teaser released on 9th April 2026 on Instagram on Inspector Jamshed account, the cast is multinational, and here are the leads: Inspector Jamshed, Mahmood, Farooq, Farzana, and then the support cast: Behzad, Khan Rahman, and Zafar Barki. Farhan Tahir is also attached to the project. You may remember the Pakistani descent American actor Farhan Tahir from 2008's Iron Man, 2009's Star Trek reboot, and the monster of the week fighting Winchester brothers in Supernatural's Season 7, Episode 4 in 2011. Adnan Butt, the producer's Insta account, features yet another Hollywood actor who visited Lahore and met his team. Kevin Hutchinson, who was in a bit scene in the Abu Dhabi airport sequence from Mission Impossible 7. He was also in a scene shot for Brad Pitt's Formula One movie in Abu Dhabi. Hutchinson has hinted at being involved in the Inspector Jamshed series in another capacity as well. He hasn't identified what that is. The synopsis of the series given on IMDb page is, quote, "Unlock the secrets of an international espionage caper. Inspector Jamshed and his sleuth-savvy children lead the way to worldwide peace and order." Unquote. Reading the synopsis, should we expect a variation of Pakistani Spy Kids and Mission Impossible? Nowadays, authors have social media presence to communicate directly with fans and readers to promote their book. They hold impromptu live Q&A sessions on Twitter, they go on book tours, they get interviewed on morning shows and podcasts. Their publishing house has a budget and marketing plan for how to sell their book. Ishtiaq Ahmed had none of that, but he was ahead of his time. He always spoke to the readers by writing a passage to them at the start of the book before the story started. The section in the beginning was titled Do Baatein, that is, 2 words. And at the end of the book, his replies to fans' questions were published. You could write to him and ask him any question about his own self as a person, or you could question any character directly and that character would reply, and you'd find your question and the answer with your name and city in the last pages of the new issue. I'm sure lots of readers felt a personal connection just because their question had been featured in one of the bestsellers. So he knew the power of engaging directly with readers. Apart from being a master storyteller of children's suspense, Ishtiaq Ahmed also expressed his religiosity a certain way in books and in life. His back cover photo, through the decades, showed signs of his internal beliefs. He also seemed influenced by General Ziaul-Haq's vision for an Islamic Pakistan. For all the fans that he encompassed through his impressive talent and remarkable creativity, there is one particularly scathing piece written about him and his legacy after his death in 2015. The negative analysis is done by Akhtar Abbas, posted on Dawn.com, dated 30th November 2015, in which he attributed Ishtiaq Ahmed's spy books as the natural culmination of an ideological shift in Pakistan, where a religious majority wanted to reclaim the Muslimness of the land. And in General Zia's years, that lasted from 1979 to 1988, intellectual dissent was crushed, and writers like Ishtiaq Ahmed took that space. He writes, quote, "The 80s, change of mindset, change of publications. This time saw the biggest trend in this reversal towards fundamentalism. Mosques were increasingly being converted. The school syllabus was redesigned. The media was regulated, and the mindset actively changed. Any opinion of dissent was silenced either through censorship or plain arm twisting. Many influential writers of the time, like Faiz Ahmad Faiz or Ahmad Faraz, were either put behind bars or chose exile. Books of liberal thoughts suddenly went missing from the markets. The vacuum created by this dearth of intellectual excitement was filled by a new genre of popular fiction. There were various trends. At one end was the Islamization of history, which, thanks to the various Islamic digests and novels, revisited history and dug out heresies or conspiracies against Islam from its early days or from hundreds of years ago. Then came the science digests that would explore anything from evidence of jinns, prophecies of doomsday in the ancient pyramids, and justification of animal slaughter using steel blades. Finally, the last variety consisted of spy books, in which Ishtiaq Ahmed played an important part. Ishtiaq Ahmed, Mazhar Kaleem B.A., Naseem Hijazi, A. Hamid, Tariq Ismail Sagar, and many others represented a populist culture based on a concept that the world is out there to get us, that there are conspiracies being hatched against this poor nation, and that one must be watchful of any foreign elements. Graduating from Ishtiaq Ahmed's works, one would often go on to read the more serious Mazhar Kaleem B.A., then A. Hamid, and finally to Tariq Ismail Sagar. If embalmed with the newfound evangelism of the Tablighi Jamaat, young devotees would soon turn into a Maududi or a Sayyid Qutb or Sheikh Baz. The more educated minds would go on to find other parallel truths like Freemasons, Illuminatis, protocols, Jewish hegemony, and CIA Mossad raw connections. It would be fair to say Ishtiaq Ahmed was among those writers who helped shape the volatile society that Pakistan has become. Impressionable young minds soaked up his narrative of history and grew up believing in a world where things are not always as they may seem. These were the books that shaped the current mindset, which believes every natural calamity may be an act of sabotage by Satan, every famous divorce a Jewish plot, and every political turmoil a conspiracy hatched by a Masonic lodge or one of our minorities. If we are to understand the mindset of today's generation, we might want to look back at what happened in the 80s and the 90s in Pakistan. This is the only way we can learn from history and hopefully stop it from repeating itself." Unquote. This is an exceptionally critical analysis by Akhtar Abbas, who, by his own admission in the article, was never Ishtiaq Ahmed's fan and quickly got bored of his stories and moved on to other fields of study. To each their own. But it's an unfair assessment of the legendary nature of Ishtiaq Ahmed's place in children's fiction. To call his fans indoctrinated fundamentalists is also a misguided claim. It does not matter to Abbas that in Inspector Jamshed and other character series, Ishtiaq Ahmed created the first authentically Pakistani and brown and middle-class family of heroes and heroines who just happened to be Muslims. Abbas apparently was never impressed by the escapist adventure and Muslim prayers that the Jamshed family indulged in. Indeed, that all major series characters did. Nor does he understand the significance of kick-ass Farzana, teenage daughter of Inspector Jamshed, nor Inspector's wife, who could swing into action to nab a suspect, both of whom were key characters in the bestsellers. Growing up in General Zia's decade, when even TV showed a different avatar for ideal Pakistani women, these two females were good alternate role models to have. Everyone I know has fond memories of the book's cool kids fighting crime and solving cases with their cool dad, with a supportive mom, and the cool villains, and they all reminisce about the fun and joy they had reading about their escapades and stunts. Fans have a sense of shared past and a sense of community. Ishtiaq Ahmed did express his religiosity a certain way, and he did seem to be influenced by General Zia-ul-Haq's ideology in some ways. So it's important to not look away from how he wrote his viewpoints in his books, the good versus evil landscape he built in his volumes, and also to check what Abbas calls the demonization of certain communities in his series. The stakes, after all, are high. I've introduced this article in this News Views letter because it adds another dimension to why the stakes are so high, with the first live-action production of Ishtiaq Ahmed's children's mystery books of Inspector Jamshed series. Because Republic Media wants to create a massive spyverse and distribution network around the first authentically Pakistani children's suspense fiction and bring it to the global masses. Whatever it is, expectation and nostalgia is running high with this one. In the coming months, I'll revisit this story as well as Ishtiaq Ahmed's famous books and villains in a special feature to introduce you to more of his work.